Awareness. That's why the Buckeyes Against Alzheimer's are here today. Alzheimer's is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States. The CDC projects that by 2050, that number will triple-fold, which means that 1 in 3 of us will probably get Alzheimer's when we're senior citizens. After talking with so many amazing people on stage, I learned a new thing. Reach. Recognize the signs, engage with empathy, ask directly about suicide, communicate hope, and help people to the right resources. Are stricter gun control measures coming to the state of Ohio? One might think so. Ohio Governor John Kasich, in a CNN interview, announced he would support new gun restrictions, including background checks and banning the sales of semi-automatic weapons. You just gotta walk up, give a nice little hug, and just wait for the magic to happen. There we go. President Trump is enacting new tariffs. On Thursday, President Trump announced a tariff on imported steel and aluminum. The proposed tariff is meant to target China and boost the American economy, but critics say it will do the opposite. I went onto the Multicultural Center website and found many resources tailored at specific minorities, but unfortunately, a mixed heritage category was missing from the website. What I did find, however, was an event that is put on once a month at the Multicultural Center. Speaking of people being okay, here in Columbus, the rise of deaths caused by distracted walking, that is, walking across the street while looking down at your phone, has dramatically increased. People must not be listening to their parents anymore when they say to look both ways before crossing the street. We're all guilty of doing it. We consistently leave the room without turning the lights off first. After all, that might explain why Americans spend an average of $3,500 a year just on electricity. That is a high price. But what's one of the simplest ways to get that price to go down? It's simple. Just turn the lights off before you leave the room. 5 months after Hurricane Maria devastated Puerto Rico, the island is still without full power. As part of OS Unidos Week, the Multicultural Center partnered with Latino organizations to host Love for Puerto Rico. All proceeds from the fundraiser will go to the Hispanic Federation, Unidos, to fund hurricane relief efforts. Lantern TV spoke to event organizers to learn more.
This is the purpose of the fundraiser, to raise awareness that people, families, children are still in need of a lot of help.
On Wednesday, the Multicultural Center held a fundraiser to help children and families affected by Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico. Lien Davila Martin tells me that 5 months after the hurricane,
30% of the island still does not have power. So imagine if Columbus were to have a blackout and it lasts for 5 months.
This is why students want to help Puerto Rico. They want to
contributing like our little grain of rice
to a bigger cause. That's Laura Tavera. She and Leanne tell me that they both have personal connections to Puerto Rico. Laura recalls the day of the hurricane.
Honestly, I'd have to say that was probably one of the longest days of my life. Just sitting in my dorm and seeing what was going on back home and not being able to talk to my parents.
But Laura still considers herself to be
very lucky. I didn't hear back from my parents for an entire day and a half after the hurricane. I know of some students who didn't hear back from their family 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks after.
On the other hand, many Puerto Ricans were not as lucky.
People were literally burying their deceased ones in the backyards because they didn't have a car, because the car got destroyed, they didn't have gas, or the bridge couldn't connect to the other town where the hospital was at. So the only way that they can preserve the body instead of having it, outside, was just burying them.
Although the fundraiser is over, Puerto Rico still needs help. If you'd like to donate to the cause, please log on to go.osu.edu/HF Love for PR. For Lantern TV, I'm Shannon in Litton. College-age students are not usually affected by Alzheimer's disease, but members of a student organization, Buckeyes Against Alzheimer's, are spreading awareness of the disease by showing how changes in your current lifestyle can prevent you from developing this type of dementia later in life. Lantern TV spoke to members of this student organization to learn more. Go. Brain Health Awareness Week kicked off last Monday and brought 5 events put on by the Buckeyes Against Alzheimer's.
Let's see, Monday was our brain healthy cooking demo, so we made smoothie bowls that are brain healthy.
On Tuesday we had an event with service dogs, so we were out with 4 paws for ability.
Wednesday we had a brain health trivia night.
And then on Thursday we were passing out chocolates on the oval.
And then we have our big event today, just trying to get the word out there about our organization and about Alzheimer's in general.
But you may be telling yourself, I'm a college student, why should I care about this right now? Well,
only 5% of cases of Alzheimer's are genetic, and the rest are of the way of your lifestyle, so how you live.
On top of the fun and games, the event was able to provide students with tips on how they can be aware of Alzheimer's in their everyday lives.
Eating healthy, trying to eat that Mediterranean diet, so not too much like fat and grease, things like that. Trying to exercise as much as you can during the week so that your body is active and is as healthy as it can be and your metabolic rates are where they should. And then keeping your brain active.
Awareness. That's why the Buckeyes Against Alzheimer's are here today. Alzheimer's is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States. The CDC projects that by 2050, that number will triple-fold, which means that 1 in 3 of us will probably get Alzheimer's when we're senior citizens.
Alzheimer's doesn't have a cure. The final goal is to get a cure for Alzheimer's, and to get a cure for Alzheimer's, we need the same support cancer is getting to send money into research that'll help overall.
For Lantern TV, I'm Shannon and Litton. Thanks, Elizabeth. It's not a job, it's a career. That's how Chief Stone described what being a police officer is all about. I sat down with him late last week to find out why he wanted to become a police officer, what keeps him motivated, and what policing at Ohio State looks like in the wake of national tension between citizens and police. Do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Who better to embody this quote than OSUPD Chief Fred Stone?
Well, the day starts before I even get here.
Chief Stone has been a police officer for the last 33 years. His motivation?
The students. The students help drive me. You know, a lot of students, this is their first time away from home. They may make mistakes, and we're here to help them.
Chief Stone is present at a variety of events throughout the year. He loves interacting with students. He's also a part of the Chat with Chief program, which is where he holds
office hours in the union.
But let's rewind. Where did the story begin?
Ooh, the academy. That's going way back. This is my academy class graduation picture. We were the 64th recruit class, the Columbus Division of Police Academy.
Chief Stone became a police officer for 2 simple reasons.
Be involved in the community and help people.
Believe it or not, Chief Stone didn't start thinking about joining the force until he was an adult. It was Mary Moyer, his supervisor at a previous job, that encouraged him to get his bachelor's degree and to become a police officer.
Very supportive. Yeah, it's an amazing lady.
One of his accomplishments during his first year as chief was to initiate additional police diversity training.
You look at what's happening across the country, we don't have those problems here. But as a police department, you don't want to be stagnant. You want to stay current, making sure we value and respect diversity and treat people fairly according to the constitutional rights.
Chief Stone and I were able to talk about how police relations at Ohio State are different than those we see around the country. He says it's because
quite a few of our officers are OSU graduates. They understand what it is to be a student. We're proactive to get out and engage the campus community and get to know the students.
For Lantern TV, I'm Shannon and Litton.